Hey church family and other missionaries around the world. This is Trevor Owen with a little devotional thought for you. You know, it was 11 days ago I received an email from Togo, Africa, one of the destinations I was taking a mission trip to. And they said, hey, is anybody on your team kind of worried about this coronavirus thing? Fast forward a week and a half. Well, that trip's been canceled. In fact, the church buildings have been shuttered. We're not gathering on Sunday mornings. We're going to be streaming live instead. And Wednesday nights aren't meeting. And many of our small groups have been canceled and closed down because we're not supposed to gather in groups. And, social isolation. And, of course, that's just a symptom of much bigger things as jobs are in flux and businesses are shut down and people are being, furloughed and put on standby until some future time. The world's gotten, crazy. And really shaken. I'm shooting this video here in front of our nativity scene. And I don't know if you've seen the Living Nativity at Hill Spring, but it is an amazing, awe-inspiring performance. I mean, we have over 200 volunteers that come together, and there's horses and torches and fire and sheep and camels and professional movie soundtrack and a giant angel and smoke, and I mean, it's incredible. And ironically, the story that we're telling is the story of God coming to earth with nothing. And no money, no power, no influence, not a particularly great place in the world. And the reason he did that was because he wanted to demonstrate who he was authentically. He didn't want to wow us over and get us to follow him because of stuff. He wanted to show who he was, who God is, and what that love means authentically. And in that, he changed the world. Like literally split our timeline in half. There's a part of me that wonders, if we're still shuttered, and then Living Nativity doesn't happen this year. And I don't think that's going to be an issue. But if we were, how would our church be doing at telling about God and the story of Jesus out in the world? And I wonder, if we're not gathering on Sunday mornings together anymore, how much of that gathering was just because, we like the music and the sound and it was a fun place to be, and how much of that gathering was us desiring to encourage and lift up and strengthen each other, to worship God. And so I think there's an opportunity here for our church, but churches and Christians everywhere, in the midst of all this chaos and the shaking, to find out how authentic we are. Do we worship God when we're home by ourselves? Do we actually care for other people? Do we reach out and touch base and encourage? Do we go out of our way to help or to serve others? I mean, we get an amazing opportunity right now to really love. I know things are hard. All of this has affected all of us. But here's the thing. When Jesus told the parable of the man building his house, he said, the wise man builds his house on the rock, and the foolish man builds his house on the sand. And when the storm comes and the rivers rise, things are shaken. The one who's built their house on a firm foundation stands. I think our church has built itself on the firm foundation of loving God and serving others. Living, loving, growing. And I'm excited to see how sort of this winnowing, when some of the things are stripped away, plays out. I hope a lot of the church around the world has done the same. And for each of us, we get the chance to be that church. So go out, love people, make phone calls, be patient with your children, patient with your spouse. Learn to study, to love, to live. And together we can authentically be the church maybe change the world through this. Stay on mission, and I'll see you around.